This is 40K Today. 40K news that hits like a possessed bomb, crashing into a paladin bomb, wrapped in a crisis bomb, on top of a death company bomb. Welcome to 40K Today. This is your 15-minute daily digest of what's happening in the world of Warhammer 40,000. I'm your host, Steve Joel. Today is, can you believe it, Friday the 1st of May. And today on the show, John talks to Austin Wingfield about the Wobbly Modeler and his podcast, Battle Brothers. And one of the UK's top players, Stephen Box, drops in to talk us through how to get the most out of your Blood Angels. That's this week's Faction Focus. We'll get to that soon. First up, let's see what's going on in our hobby today. As of today, Games Workshop's web store is open again for much of the world. Notably, Australia and New Zealand still won't be able to buy online, but the US, UK, Europe, and a lot of other places can get their hobby groove on. There are a couple of caveats. One is that it's going to take longer than usual to get your order processed and sent. All the details are on the Warhammer community page. The link for that is in our show notes. Speaking of Warhammer community, they've been running a battle of the Primarchs just for fun, and the latest step was the grand finale between Lion L. Johnson and Horus. Who else? 7 rounds of brutality. I won't give away the winner. Go to Warhammer community to find out. The new Catachan Kernel model, which GW is sending to local gaming stores for free to help them get back up and running, is the subject of some big online controversy based on the fact that there are so few of them. The intent was obviously genuine, but now the model is turning up on eBay and other sites with some hefty price tags. That has some condemning the practice and others defending it as a legitimate way those stores can try and make back some lost revenue. Whichever side of this you're on, you will see this come up in your social media feeds over the weekend if you haven't already. Spikey Bits have published an article on building your own wargaming table. In this article by Travis Perkins, he covers everything from the materials you'll need to estimated prices and the step-by-step instructions. This is big, people. If you're sick of painting and maybe you've read enough and you're not getting game time in, why not? The article is in our show notes. Austin Wingfield has been involved in the game of 40K for a long time. He's a top player and also a dedicated content producer. Our own John Damaris caught up with Austin to talk about wobbly models and podcasting.
All right, Austin, I thought we'd start by just celebrating like all the stuff you've done in the Warhammer community. Like, you've been around for a minute. Why don't you tell everybody about the podcast and how it got started, your Team Battle Brothers podcast? Did I get that right?
Yeah, I appreciate the shout out. And yeah, I have been around for a little bit now. Team Battle Brothers has been great. It's Sean Naden, Stephen Four, or Juice, and myself. We got together. They were coaching and had their Patreon page. And I've been running the Wobbly Modelers, which is our painting service. And I've been friends with them. So we kind of all joined up and, joined together, started that podcast. And we like to have fun, talk about 40K, more competitive side, but we're pretty laid back, I'm sure, as you all know.
Yeah, actually, I've listened to several episodes of your podcast, and one of the things I really appreciate about it is y'all are funny.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
We do like to have fun. We like to drink some beers and talk some shit about 40K, So
Yeah. I would describe it as good old boys. Talking about some 40K. So it's a really, really fun ride. So everybody should go check that out. And the other thing about Team Battle Brothers is you guys recently formed an ITC team this year and did very well. I think you guys finished 3rd. Is that right?
Yeah, we did. We finished 3rd. We had a decent showing at LVO. We were in the running for 1st, just like the rest of the teams at the top. And it all came down to the wire. We had a couple guys in the top, just same with Brohammer and Gentleman's Gaming, and everybody finished out, and shout out to those teams as well. But we really came together this year. I'm really proud of our entire team, just so we could compete with some of the larger teams like Beast Coast, Brohammer, and those guys. So really good performance for the first year together, coming in 3rd.
Yeah, congratulations. And the other really cool thing about it, I think the best story about that whole team concept in the ITC is there was several teams that were very competitive, and there wasn't one that just ran away with it, right?
No, it was everybody was in the running.
Yeah,
I am going to give us a shout out. We did win the hobby track. We were the #1 team, so that's paint scores involved, of course. We got to take that trophy home. So shout out to us for, we like to play hard, but we like to hobby harder.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Well, let's talk about that. So you have been doing a paint studio called the Wobbly Modelers, and a lot of people, I don't think understand the amount of work that goes into like commissioning an army. So sometimes they can be kind of taken aback by the prices. But I can tell you, as a customer who's had an army painted, it's one of the best experiences I've ever had. And the reason why is because you get a completely coherent painted army done by, I'm going to say, professionals, and it feels great to play with those models. So you must feel spoiled because being a part of the Wobbly Modelers, you probably get to play with a lot of pretty stuff, I would say.
I do. So I'll actually tell you a story. The reason Wobbly Modelers started was due to the fact that I wanted to get some of my own stuff painted by my friends, and they already painted commissions. We kind of came together. I have started this up as I manage everything. I talk to the customers. We figure out what product the customer wants, and I will assign certain artists to you depending on what you require. So we have several different levels. So like you said, sometimes the prices can be a little scary, but we offer lots of different price ranges, different quality work, different painters, things like that. So we try to, make it work for anybody, but we have anything from tabletop to what we call our Wobbly Standard, which is, more detailed work, a lot of airbrush. We go Wobbly Plus, which is even more detailing, special bases, things like that. And then we, of course, if you've seen, we do best in show work where we win big trophies, do all that kind of stuff, where we do converted models, freehand, all the custom work. So shout out to my guys. I'll give Kelsey Haley, the original Wobbly Modeler, Josh Kinder and Travis Bouchard are all our head painters on the team. We have a larger team than that, but they all have done so much work for us, and really proud of the work that we put out.
Yeah, you guys have some really beautiful stuff. And we'll definitely in the show notes put some links to, Battle Brothers, Wobbly Modelers, so people can come check out like all the ways that you're contributing to the community. And it's very much appreciated, sir, especially in a time like this with the pandemic. It's nice to have, I don't know, pretty things to look at and fun stuff to listen to. So
absolutely. I appreciate you having me on, and everybody keep an eye out. We are doing some fun battle reports now that we're quarantined, getting some of our Wobbly Modeler armies on display. So on all the sites, you'll be starting seeing some streams from us.
Cool. So are you guys doing that on Twitch then, or are you doing it on YouTube? Where can people find those videos?
They will be on both. So I'm trying to educate myself just on how everything works. So right now it will be on YouTube after the fact, but we'll live stream it on our Facebook page and on Twitch.
Awesome. So when you guys kick that off, let me know, and then we'll make an announcement and maybe do another interview about it. Be great.
Sounds good, man.
All right.
That's Austin Wingfield speaking to John Damaris. Check our show notes for links to everything Austin does. Next up on the show, Stephen Box gives us the lowdown on how to get the most out of your Blood Angels.
Today's episode of 40K Today is brought to you by Frontline Gaming. Frontline Gaming is a one-stop shop for all your Warhammer hobby needs, discounted products, American-made gaming mats and terrain, and a full line of miniatures painting service and daily hobby content. And this can all be found at frontlinegaming.org.
Thanks for staying with us on 40K Today. In this week's Faction Focus, we're looking at Blood Angels. They're terrifying in close combat, right? But how do you get them there? Did they get enough from Psychic Awakening to be top table contenders? One of the UK's best players says yes. John Damaris spoke to Stephen Box. If you're a Blood Angels player, this is for you.
All right, Box, before we get started, I just want to congratulate you super quick on your rebranding and then some of the really cool things you're doing with donating to charity with mental health and men's health and that kind of thing. Kudos to you, sir. I just wanted to give you a virtual high five, because of COVID and all that. Rock on.
Oh, really appreciate that, John. Thank you very much. Yeah, trying to do my part and stuff. And it's a cause that means a lot to me. So, obviously, me and Steve actually spoke about that on the last time I was on the show. So it just kind of goes with that as well. Yeah, just really exciting.
That's amazing. So anyway, I just wanted to make sure I got that out of the way. But let's talk some Blood Angels. So Psychic Awakening's been out for a little bit of time now. Why don't you tell the listeners like some of the most exciting things to come out of the Psychic Awakening book for the Blood Angels? Because obviously you've demonstrated they're now a very competitive army. So
shall I go over like my top 3 things, like my biggest winners? Yeah,
let's do it. The biggest winners. How about from worst to best or best to worst? What do you think?
Okay, yeah. We'll go with the worst thing.
Okay.
But still
the
a
worst
win.
of the top 3, but still a winner. Okay, we're on the same page. Let's rock it out. Let's go.
So, it's actually really hard to rank them because they're all really good. Okay, we actually got 4 things from Psychic Awakening, I would say, that have been pivotal in a Blood Angel player's success. Now, John, I'm going to warn you, you might get some backlash for what I'm about to say, okay?
That's all right. I can handle it. I'm a big boy.
Okay, I'm just going to warn you, but for me, we'll go on to what, at the end of this, what I think every Blood Angel player is ruining their list with. So I'm going to go on to that at the end. So the 4 things we got were +1 advance in charge, stock. That's great. Absolutely fantastic.
Always good.
Yeah, always good. Yeah. So that's kind of the worst one of the winners. And then you've also got our Super Doctrine,
which is additional attacks, right?
That's it, when you get into turn 3. And obviously now with the Space Marine nerf, it doesn't even affect us at all. We're good turns 3 to 6, maybe 7, depending on what you're playing. You're getting the extra attack, and that's a huge force multiplier, okay?
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, the other thing that we got was obviously the litanies, and which we kind of expected anyway, so I'm not really going to touch on that, but just getting that +2 to charge from the litanies is obviously a massive help for us as Blood Angel players. But my top 3...
Yeah, because Blood Angel armies are typically assault armies, right? So anything that gets you into combat is going to be good for the army. Because I think if you're playing an assault-based army and Blood Angels, you're leaning into their strengths, right? So anything that bumps that up obviously is going to be good. All right. So the number one thing, let's go.
Okay, so I've got 2. Number 1 was one of the 2 is that the priest can now take a jump pack again. And this was an overlooked thing from the Codex that now Blood Bowl got. The priest can take a jump pack. So the priest is an amazing force multiplier. He gives you +1 strength to all of your units within an aura range. And then combine that with +1 to wound on the first turn to charge. Your scouts are now wounding Marines on 2s in combat.
That's gross. Or wounding orcs on 2s. You know, like, ugh. That is gross. Especially like just something stupid like intercessors, right? With their 3 attacks apiece. Like they're gonna mulch stuff. Absolutely mulch it.
You wound aggressors, you wound bikes on 3s, it's crazy good. So that's a huge force multiplier because now he can keep up with the rest of the army.
Yep, that's amazing.
But the biggest winner for me is a relic. And that relic allows you to re-roll any of the dice on the charge.
Nice.
It's an aura within 3, so I normally put this on my priest as well. So my priest is like my boy. He's given me a huge force multiplier. He's given me the re-rolls. Now the problem is most people forget to even see or look at this relic or try it because they are hamstringing themselves by taking, and this is what you can get a lot of stick for, a Smash Captain. Yep. I never put any more a Smash Captain in my list.
That's amazing. So let's talk about this tech really quick. Why no Smash Captain?
You're taking a hammer in which you have multiple sledgehammers. If you're a pure Blood Angel army, you've got your Death Company to do that. You've got the Sanguinary Guard to do that. Astaroth is a very cheap Smash Captain anyway because he can get the 3 damage. He can even go up to 4 damage if you really wanted to. But for 140 points, you'll have to, you normally give him an extra attack for the Death Company. You normally spend 2 CPs to Wings Upon Fire, and then Descent of Angels, all that to give him the 3d6 inch charge, fight him twice. You're normally spending like 6 to 8 CPs on this one guy that can do one thing and then he dies. Okay, and you're giving him wings so he can reroll his charges and turn off Overwatch. But you don't need to do that because what you've done is by removing him, you can take a lot more troops. So you can take more Sanguinary Guard, more Death Company, and I just use my characters as force multipliers. And if they're ever in combat, I'm either in 2 situations. I'm either winning massively, and I'm just having some fun with my characters now, playing Hero Hammer, or I'm losing, and I need every attack I can get.
You're just like, hey guys, bail me out. I need you to go something. Ham. Right. Yeah.
I'm praying for the the dice to go well. But as a competitive player, and as I've always said, I'm such a try-hard, and I like to play the consistent game. So I can rely on my +1 attack, my reroll charges. I can rely on my +2 to charge, my extra 3-inch consolidation, my extra 3-inch piling, my ability to reroll my hits. I'm relying on all that stuff.
Yeah, but like 5 or 6 swings of a Thunderhammer from or maybe 7, who knows, from a Smash Captain after investing all those CPs can do nothing. I mean, we've all seen it happen, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Death Company with 5 Thunderhammers never fails to kill what they get in contact with. Like
and spend 3 CPs on them to fight again, because they'll pick everything up in the game,
Yeah.
So,
all right. Well,
yeah,
go ahead. I was going to say that sounds very promising, and it sounds like Blood Angel players should be smiling ear to ear, much like you are right now.
Yeah, absolutely, John.
That's Stephen Box from Vanguard Tactics. Check out the new look for his channel at vanguardtactics.com. And that's it for another week. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, as always, to our content producer, Alex Bainter, and also to our technical superhero, without whom we could not do this, technical producer, Seamus Ronan. Thanks to you as well for supporting the show. Everyone here is extremely grateful that you're a part of it. And if you'd like to give us an extra hand, help us out by letting some of your friends know about the program as well. Next week on 40K Today, our guests include Brad Chester, Colin McDade, Ennis Wilson with his take on Dark Angels, and Kerry from the Warhammer 40K Book Club. We'll see you Monday. Stay safe over the weekend. For John Damaris, I'm Steve Joel, and that's what's happening in 40K Today.